start us off.
Let's go to college football. This will get Danio going here. Arch Manning legacy game versus the Georgia Bulldogs. They take him down in Athens, Georgia.
I can't love this more. Arch has been playing at a really high clip. Last month, call it, and I think there's a legit chance that Texas, because the offensive line's been playing better, upsets Georgia. Legit chance, but I agree. Arch, could you imagine if he balls out all the conversation?
All the conversation.
Receipts that get pulled?
Obviously well documented. He hasn't played well in the first half of the year. His last 2 games, he's had 670 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that he can go and have a legacy type of game. I got the Georgia Bulldogs in this one.
Yeah.
Kirby Smart in November. That is the proven
Can't
product.
rush the passer.
Yeah, I also think that Stark has changed. It was throw the ball downfield. Let's Arch always chunk throws earlier in the year. They didn't have the receivers to do it. Realize that now it's become a little bit more ball distribution, get the ball in their hands, yards after the catch, much better suited for the perimeter players of Texas.
So Arch doesn't stink. Will, your next take, what do you got?
Two best teams in the NFL are in the NFC West, and it is the Seattle Seahawks and the LA Rams.
It's like Groundhog's Day over here. I believe somebody said that in the beginning of the show. And I fully agree with everything Will Compton just said. These are the 2 teams in the NFC, and the only other one is the Lions. This team has a top 5 offense, both of them. Top 5 offense, top 10 defense. Matthew Stafford has thrown 4 touchdowns in the last 3 games and 0 interceptions. He's taking really good care of the ball. Sam Darnold. This is a game for Sam Darnold for me is if you can outduel Matthew Stafford, you're officially gone from, hey, guys he's resurrecting to his career to, this is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. We all need to respect his name.
All right, we'll give us one more.
Let's go Chiefs. This was said in the opening, and by the way, great take here by Andrew Hawkins.
Wow.
The Chiefs must win or the division is over with for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
Well, I agree since I said it in my opening statement. That was back-to-back, straight out of Compton.
Hey, if you scroll Taylor's timeline Sunday afternoon, he's like, Patriots, best team in the NFL.
Yeah, and I also didn't take it because on ESPN, you've been on the Patriots. So I've been like, you know what, I'm going to leave that one be for Compton. People learn their lessons.
They learn their lessons. There you go. This is a must-win for the Chiefs because not only that, they've dominated this division so long, and you could feel the shifting of the guard. This defense for the Broncos is top-notch, and if they lose this game, besides the implications that it has on the division in the AFC for the season, there could be an official changing of the guard, the Broncos in that division.
End of a dynasty.
Dano, the end of the dynasty is extreme, but if they they don't win the division, they could be doing wild card, have to go into the long road, or miss the playoffs altogether. Schefter noted in the pre-show meeting, if the playoffs were to start today, the Chiefs would not be in the playoffs.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Dano, first wax at this thing. We look at Broncos in Denver versus the Chiefs.
Bad matchup for Kansas City. Because the one thing that really has stood out for this offense this year is the plus plays, the above the X's and O's plays by Patrick Mahomes. They're back this year. No quarterback has created more big plays from holding onto the football, running around, maneuvering within the pocket, and throwing it downfield than Patrick Mahomes, okay? So that's the thing that is the standout. The challenge is that's the one thing you don't want to do against this defense. This defense leads the NFL in sacks. If you talk about Denver's defense, you better block 15. Patrick wears what number? 15. You better block 15. Nick Benito is his name. He is an absolute game record. And the challenge against Denver's defense is this. To get started, you got to be good on first downs. They sack teams on first downs. To continue drives, you got to be good on third downs. They get off the field on third down with sacks. They have 35 first down or third down sacks. So they stunt your drive to start, and then they end your drive with sacks. And I think that's the challenge is that's the thing that like Patrick and that offense has been so great at, and you want to live in it. You just don't want to do it against this defense.
Such a chess match. What do you got on this one?
I mean, the defense is good at everything. Like, to your point, they get after the quarterback. They're great against the run. They're good on the back end. No Surtain, but, like, this is the best defense in the NFL for a reason. If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, you have to rely on your strength on the offense, and that is your weapons on the outside. They have to play at their best. Yeah, that rush is coming. Get the ball out of your hands to Rasheed. Get the ball out of your hands to Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown. These are players that when they get the ball, they're game breakers no matter where they touch it on the field. And so if they can build a rhythm there, and these guys are playing at their best, even with as good as the Broncos defense is, if you're getting the best out of the outside guys, they'll have a good chance.
Let me tell you the 3 things that have to happen for Kansas City to win. 1, truly believe Patrick has to go over 50 yards running the football. He's just going to have to make some of those Mahomes plays in those critical moments where they do not account for him. 2, I think Kelsey and Brashard Smith realistically have to go for 15-plus catches and $125 to $150 catches combined. That's the one way, or the best way to attack this defense is constantly work those linebackers.
Can I just interject for this dynasty to maybe be on the line and Brashard Smith to be the key player? I mean, talk about his importance.
Yeah, again, as a pass catcher, he's got to be huge because I don't think Denver is going to do everything they can to take away Rasheed and Hollywood and Xavier, and they're equipped to do it. But Kelsey versus the linebackers, Brashard Smith versus the linebackers in the pass-catching game is going to be huge. I know in the run game, being efficient matter. Pass-catching game, those two players have to go for 15 and 150.
Okay. Will, I look to you here because you're looking at this bottom thing here. You've got the Broncos actually winning this game. What would that mean for the Chiefs if the Broncos win?
Oh, yeah. They'll be fighting for a wild card. They go to Indy next week. And to me, it's like Vance Joseph, his 4 games.
Wait, Kansas City plays Indy next week?
Yes.
Yes.
Blew my boy's mind.
In his 4 games being the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, only allowed an average of 11 points per game against the Chiefs. For me, it's like, are the Broncos going to be able to score enough points? To what we saw last week, Thursday night, that offense. Bo Nix, some inaccuracies, some drop balls. He seems rattled at times in the pocket throwing the football. It's like, are they going to be able to generate enough offense? Any kind of rhythm at all?
Yeah.
No penalties?
Yeah.
Can we have a clean football game versus Kansas City?
Yeah, the Broncos offense leads the NFL in offensive penalties.
Real quick, Will, you've got the Chiefs. Andy Reid, 22-4 in his career off a bye. You're confident KC pulls it together?
Yeah, Will's not. I am. Taylor,
Sorry, Taylor,
I
my
believe.
bad.
No, you're all good.
22-5 this weekend.
Yeah, when I look at the Chiefs and I look at their offense versus the Broncos defense, obviously that's a huge strength that the Broncos have. But if you look at the Chiefs defense versus the Broncos offense, that's much more lopsided than it would be Chiefs offense versus Denver's defense. Like, they start slow. They have the most penalties. Speaking of, this is the Broncos. And Spags' defense, they don't make mistakes.
Yeah,
so if Patrick Mahomes can, have an extension of the run game, having these quick get the ball out really fast, like that's a way to move the chains. And you don't need, this is not a game where you're going to need to have 6 in the red zone. Right. Get 3. Consistently get 3s. I think that's going to be enough to beat this the Denver Broncos offense because they, after what I saw last Thursday, I'm out.
What if? Hawk, what if Aaron Rodgers struggles against the Bengals on Sunday?
Yeah, well, then Steelers fans should start to worry about what the back end of the season could look like. It's going to be a tough schedule down the stretch. Aaron Rodgers has, for the most part, played as expected. There's been other elements of the Steelers team that has not been up to par, but on the back end, they have the Ravens twice. They have the Lions. They just have a very, very tough part of the schedule. Going into the playoffs, you don't want your quarterback struggling.
No, you don't. Okay, what if Caleb Williams and the Bears win their 3rd straight game? What's that mean?
Well, then that means the hiring of Ben Johnson is a definitive success. When you watch Caleb Williams play now, he's playing with a purpose. He's getting out of the pocket, eyes downfield. He's an asset to this offense, whereas before, you worried about his mechanics. There's still a ways to go, but if you've watched Caleb Williams over the last few weeks, you see a guy that you feel confident can lead this team to potentially a playoff run. He's on pace for 4,000 yards, and that has not happened at the Bears franchise.
All right, this next one I ask with great stress. What if Jordan Love struggles against the Giants on Sunday?
If Jordan Love struggles against the Giants, it's time for a factory reset on my boy. LaFleur is going to have to figure out a game plan to settle him down. He's playing a little frantic. He's moving too fast. He's missing players down the field. And a lot of times he's getting rid of the ball before the play develops. So they're going to have to figure out a strategy to settle him down in the pocket so that when he's running the offense, they can take full advantage down the field.
Okay, the last 2 games that they've played, the Packers offense has been MIA, missing in action, averaging 10 points per game and have only scored on 4 of their 17 offensive drives, 2 field goals, 2 touchdowns. Taylor Lewan, we come to you.
Oh, yes.
What do we say if Jordan Love struggles against the Giants on Sunday?
What a tough position you've put me in. If Jordan Love struggles against the Giants on Sunday, we got to start thinking about the Packers not making the playoffs. And I don't think this is a indictment on Matt LaFleur. I think, and I hate saying this because I'm an offensive lineman guy, but because of the offensive line play, it's gotten Jordan Love to get a little more happy feet, look down at the rush as opposed to looking downfield. You watch the game they played against the Eagles this past week. There were multiple guys opens in different scenarios where the protection is good, but because it's been inconsistent throughout this year, he does not trust that his offensive line is going to get it done. He's not pushing the ball down the field the way he should.
It's been mass hysteria on ESPN all week already about the Packers. And Dano, you look heated up.
We needed an instant reaction.
Driven me nuts.
How come?
One, this is what happens when people say, quarterback, protect the football. I'm not paying you $55 million to protect the ball. You pay players like me to protect the football. And that's not being joking, like legit. I'm paying Jordan Love to be great. And it's way too cautious. In the narrative around Jordan Love, this is what has bothered me so much about the season and coming off of last week. Jordan Love's a walking turnover. That's factually incorrect. Jordan Love's reckless with the football. That's factually incorrect. If you look at over the course of the last season of starts, because last year he missed some time, this year we're not all the way through. Look at where he is when it comes to giving the ball away. Jalen right now is historically good with it, throwing the football to the other team. Stafford's in the conversation for MVP of the league, and then Lamar's Lamar. Jordan Love's third when it comes to throwing interceptions as far as how much we throw the football. So, like, everyone talks about Jordan Love as this walking, oh my gosh, he's not. I would argue he's too cautious with the football. I would argue because of the offensive line and because of this, we got a great defense, don't throw the ball to the other team, he's not cutting it loose. If I was Matt LaFleur, I would sit there and say, Jordan, start throwing the ball downfield. If you throw an interception, it's on me. If you throw an interception, we traded 7,000 picks for Micah Parsons. We paid him $1 billion. And I would agree, Monday night, there's people open. But for some reason, he won't throw the football because everybody talks about Jordan Love being the reason why the Packers aren't going to win games because if he gives the ball away, it's the worst thing. No, it's not. Everyone has to get rid of these turnovers with quarterbacks. When do you turn it over, and what happens with that actual turnover?
Is it not heavy as the crown, though? This is a guy who has been handed the big contract, and they made those trades to get them to the Super Bowl this year. Do you not feel that he should be able to elevate this team above even the injuries and the offensive line play?
Elevate this team to what? He's a drop or two away from maybe winning that game, and the narrative is not even real. This team is 2 snaps away from being a one-loss football team, and everyone going, yup, this is a Super Bowl contender. Now they're not. Now they're not because they've lost to the defending Super Bowl champion at home when they had 3 or 4 drops. And Jordan didn't play good the other night, but Jordan played too cautious the other night.
But they also lost the week before to Carolina at home. They also lost at Cleveland. The offense is underperformed. And I don't know exactly what the problem is.
I can tell you what the problem is.
Just the offensive line? That's the problem?
Well, it's always going to start there, right? So the offensive line isn't good. What happens with this is, as a coach and a quarterback, the worst place I want to be is 3rd and 7 plus, 3rd and obvious passing situations with an offensive line is not good, right? This simple. Defense knows I have to pass. I'm going to die in the pocket. So on 1st down, let's be efficient. Let's be efficient. Okay, then 2nd down, let's get the 3rd and 6 because we don't want to be in 3rd and 8. And it's the reverse impact because what you're doing is you take aggression away. You take urgency away. If I'm the Packers, urgency. I want to come out, take a shot early on in this game. I want to throw a screen, get some good yards. I want to take a shot again, and I want to play no tempo, and then all of a sudden the game's over.
Adam, Jordan Love's not the only person hearing it in the media. There was an Athletic article saying it's fair to assume that Matt LaFleur should be on the hot seat right now.
That is nonsense.
Well, listen. Here's the deal.
Oh, drop it on him.
He's one of the great coaches in the game. That's not what we're talking about. What we are talking about is that they had a new president, Ed Policy, come in. Typically in Green Bay, they've extended their head coach and their general manager when they've had multiple years left on their contracts. He did not extend their contracts. Now, they are finishing up this year. We'll see how the year goes. They're coming off a couple of straight losses here. Next year would be the last year of LaFleur's deal and Brian Gutekunst's deal. So they would be heading to the last year. Nobody in the NFL that wants to keep people lets key people get into the last year of their contract. So that's where this is coming from. If this team's struggling, if this team traded 1,000 picks for Micah Parsons,
and paid him $1 billion,
$1 billion, and they don't make the playoffs, then what are they doing?
Back on Get Up, it's a segment we call Run the Hurry Up with Adam Schefter. Let's start with Lamar Jackson. What do you got, Schefter?
Missed practice yesterday due to knee soreness, Peter, but he is expected to be back at practice today, according to the Ravens. And my sources tell me the Ravens are going to be honest on the injury report after they were fined the last time for some of those injury report shenanigans. And so if they say he's back at practice today, that means he's going to be back at practice today, and that means he is on track to play Sunday against the Cleveland Browns, despite what prevented him from practicing yesterday. Meanwhile, the 49ers seem to be ramping up Brock Purdy in an effort to get him ready to play Sunday against Arizona. We'll see how he feels this week at practice, but practice has looked a little bit different this week, and it looks like they might be getting Purdy back this week after all the talk about him coming back 1 week after another and Mac Jones filling in. It looks like this could be time for Purdy this week, depending on how he feels. Meanwhile, Bucky Irving was back at practice yesterday for the first time since September, has been dealing with a shoulder injury, has been dealing with a foot injury, has been dealing with a whole bunch. Again, they have to get back Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin to ramp them up. Still think it's aggressive to think that either player might be playing Sunday in Buffalo against the Bills, but the fact that they're back at practice is an encouraging sign right now for Tampa Bay.
All right, I'll be honest. Some weeks in the NFL, it's just a complete dog slate. This one is an embarrassment of riches. We also have Buffalo, Tampa Bay. How many good games are there this weekend?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Two 6-3 teams, but they're going in a little bit different directions. You see, Tampa Bay leads the NFC South by a game and a half, while Buffalo is trailing the Patriots by a game and a half and could trail by 2 full games if New England beats the Jets tonight. Taylor,
Sir.
set the table for us with this game.
Yeah,
Bucs versus Bills.
When you're looking at the two teams, the NFC South, you just know the Bucs are going to win that. They are going to host a home playoff game. So they want this game against the Bills. The Bills need to have this game. Yeah. They've got to figure out things on offense. And the front seven, unless they can gain 20 pounds each, they're going to get exposed in the run game like they did against Miami. They have a lot to figure out if they're going to chase down the Patriots and win. They're already a game behind, and they've already lost to the Patriots at home.
Dan, what is the key word for Josh Allen in this matchup?
Throwaway.
Really?
Josh, if you look at the style of play that Josh has kind of played this year, it's got to resemble more of what Patrick was last year. Patrick, it was reality, no one around him. And that's the case in Buffalo right now. It's just no one around him. So Josh is constantly trying to do everything too much, the Superman cape that was a little bit a part of his past. And last year, Josh threw the ball like 537 times, okay? I think he took 14 sacks and had something like 24 throwaways, right? So very conscious of just the style of ball was efficiency. This year, I think he's thrown it like 308 times, all right? So not that much just yet. He has 20 sacks, so already more than last year. He's only thrown the ball away 6 times.
Wow.
So it's this, I got to go make a play.
Hero ball.
Yeah, and I understand it, but you got to become obsessed with efficiency for the rest of the season if you're Josh, because the reality is you got a bottom 5 skill group around you.
Wow.
Heartbreak Hotel.
There's been a lot of narrative about that skill group, that they're just not good enough. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I've been tough on this group about getting open down the field at times this season, but as the season progresses, I mean, everybody has a little hand in this. Like,
totally.
The message I would say to the Buffalo Bills offense is no one's coming to save you.
Correct.
The trade deadline has come and gone, right? This is what you have. And when I'm looking at even the play calling, there isn't a bunch of times where guys are being schemed open, right? Keon Coleman is a young receiver who's going to continue to develop, right? He is not a solidified number one, get out there on the outside or on the island and win consistently every time. With no Dalton Kincaid,
no Kincaid is enormous.
It is enormous. And even for Josh Allen, like, he's holding the ball more this year than he has in a very long time. And that, to me, points to, you know, a lack of trust in the concept and guys becoming open, a belief that this play is going to be executed with success. He held the ball last game 3.53 seconds on average per play, the most he has since he was a rookie.
3.53 seconds per play.
Average time to throw. The longest since he's been a rookie. Think about that, right? And so for this Buffalo Bills team, yes, Josh Allen.
Is that on him or the receivers?
It's on a little bit of everybody because he can't play risk averse either. Because that's the thing about Josh Allen. And last year, that was the jump. We loved it. He became the MVP because he was a little more, to your point, cautious with the ball. And now you're in a situation where you might not have the same firepower. The situation is different. Like, you're going to have to take some risks to get a bigger reward because that's the only way.
Yeah, right now I would say frustration equals too fast. I mean, Josh has just played frustrated for the majority of the season, and it's a frustration because there's just not a lot of people getting open. There's no question about it, and coming off of an MVP season. So at times, Hawk, it's interesting for you to say, like, he's holding on to the football because there's multiple times where I sit there and say, he's just playing so fast. Like, if you waited a fraction of a second, that guy actually does get open, and you can get to 2nd and 3 right there. And then it's like, I'm holding it because no one else is open, you know, and it's very discombobulated right now.
It's one and the same, though, like, weirdly, because to your point, it's like he's looking for an outlet. He's looking for anything at times that feels positive.
Right.
And if it's not there, he's just holding because he doesn't want it to be a mistake.
Yes, absolutely.